All right. All right. Commissioner Weisong Frick,
Present.
Commissioner Graybill,
Present.
Commissioner Teal,
Present.
Commissioner Wood,
Present.
Commissioner Wolthius. Haven't heard from him. Commissioner White and Commissioner Melcher both let me know they would be out today. We do have a quorum, so.
All right. Well, this right now is an opportunity for any members of the public to address the planning committee on topics that are not listed on the agenda. We have none, so we'll move on to the approval of last month's meeting minutes, our meeting on April 16th.
I move to approve the meeting minutes from the meeting on April 16th, 2026.
All right, we have a move to approve the minutes. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? And I'm going to abstain because I was not here. So now we'll move on to our public hearings. Our first is PLA 26-02. The applicable substantive criteria are listed in the staff report. Testimony, arguments, and evidence must be directed towards the criteria described or the other criteria in the plan or land use regulation which the person believes to apply to the decision. Failure to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence sufficient to afford the decision maker and the parties an opportunity to respond to the issue precludes appeal to the Land Use Board of Appeals based on that issue. Now we'll move on to our declarations for commission. Is there any personal bias?
No.
No.
I
No.
have none. Any conflicts of interest?
No. No.
No.
And I have none. Any ex parte information?
No. None.
No.
And I have none. All right, with that, we'll move to Angela for the staff report.
Before I read my summary of the staff report, just a kind of a brief update. So typically you guys don't see property line adjustments. Those typically are only administrative. However, as explained in the staff report, when it is in conjunction with a higher type of application, it has to be heard with that. And since there's a zone map amendment attached to this one, it has to be heard in the legislative amendment and as a type 4. So you guys will never see a property line adjustment application unless it's tied to this. So which is why it's a rare occasion, but that is the reason why, and there is code for that. So
Okay.
the applicant requests approval of a property line adjustment PLA 26-02 to transfer approximately 2,687 square feet from adjacent residential tax lot 10100, which is subject property B, to the Sweet Home School District property, subject property A. Subject property A is 11.87 acres and zoned public facility. Subject property B is 15,980 square feet and zoned residential medium density. After the adjustment, property A will increase to 11.93 acres and property B will decrease to approximately 13,293 square feet. The request is being reviewed concurrently with the zone map amendment ZMA 26-01. If both applications are approved, the school district will acquire the 2,687 square foot area for potential career technical programming needs or student safety improvements. The zoning amendment would also align the zoning with the comprehensive plan designation. Under Sweet Home Municipal Code 17.120010, multiple land use applications for the same property may be processed together under the highest applicable procedure type. Therefore, PLA 26-02 is being reviewed with ZMA 26-01 as a type 4 application. The subject properties are not within the special flood hazard area. A mapped intermittent drainage associated with Cottoncrete is present on the statewide wetlands inventory. The proposal does not create or vacate any parcels. After the adjustment, both properties will continue to meet the lot area width and dimensional standards of the public facility and R3 zones. Existing structures on both lots will remain and no new development is proposed. The adjustment will not create or increase any nonconformities or place a property line beneath a structure. Any future development must comply with all applicable public facility and R3 and development code standards. Based on the findings outlined in sections 3 of the report, staff recommend that the Planning Commission make a recommendation to the City Council to approve this application. Conditions of approval. Number 1, final configuration of proposed properties A and B shall substantially conform to the plot plan submitted with the application, which is your attachment B, and the proposal transfers approximately 2,687 square feet from subject property B, which is tax lot 10100, to subject property A, tax lot 09100. The adjustment will increase subject property A to 11.93 acres, which is 519,744 square feet, and reduce subject property B to approximately 13,293 square feet. Approval number 2, approval of zone map amendment ZMA 26-01. Condition of approval number 3, the adjusted property line shall be situated so that all buildings and structures shall comply with the standards of the residential high density and public facility zones per Sweet Home Municipal Code 17.10 and 17.24. Number 4, the property line adjustment shall be surveyed and monumented as required by ORS Chapter 92. Documents must conform with the survey for the subject properties in accordance with the ORS Chapter 92 and shall be recorded with Lynn County. A property line adjustment deed shall be recorded with Lynn County and contain the following: A, the names of the parties; B, the description of the adjusted line; C, references to the original recorded documents; and D, signatures of all parties with proper acknowledgement. Number 5, development on subject property shall comply with all applicable local, state, and federal requirements, including but not limited to all applicable fire code requirements and other development requirements of the Sweet Home Municipal Code at the time of development. Number 6, if the property line adjustment involves partition parcels or subdivision lots, a replat may be required. Please contact Lynn County Surveyor's Office at 541-967-3857 for more information on platting and replatting requirements. In acting on a Type 4 application, the Planning Commission will hold a public hearing at which it may either recommend that the City Council approve or deny applications. The recommendation should be based on the applicable review and decision criteria, and the City Council will hold a public hearing and decide on the application. Motion after opening the public hearing and receiving testimony, the Planning Commission's options include the following. 1, move to recommend that the City Council approve application PLA 26-02, which includes adopting the findings of fact listed in the staff report. 2, move to recommend that the City Council deny application PLA 26-02, and you must specify your reason. Number 3, move to continue the public hearing to a date and time certain, or 4 other. Do you have any questions of staff?
And then we'll move on to our applicant testimony. I'd like to invite the applicant up to testify. Have a seat and please state your name and address for our records.
Thank you. My name is Kevin Strong. I'm the business manager for the Sweet Home School District. My address is 40120 Crawfordsville Drive, Sweet Home. Thank you for this opportunity. I have to say that was a very comprehensive staff report, and so I think it covered it well. When you look on the map, you'll see that Sweet Home School District property surrounds 3 sides of this property. And we also currently have our wood shop that is just within a few feet of the property border. And so as we think for the future, being able to acquire this will give us more options that likely will be used either for some transportation improvements for student safety or for vocational and career training, thinking about possibly a location for a greenhouse. So we have a couple of options and we haven't decided for sure what direction we're going, but having the property would certainly help.
All right. Do we have any questions for our applicant? I have none.
No.
Thanks very
No
much.
questions.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, we'll move on to our proponent's testimony. This is testimony from those wishing to speak in favor of the application. We have none, so we'll move on to opponent's testimony, which is testimony from those wishing to speak in opposition to the application. And we have none. So we'll move to neutral testimony, which is testimony from those who are neither in favor or in opposition to the application. And we have none. So with that, I will go ahead and close the public hearing at 6:40 and move it to discussion amongst the panel. Yes,
And then
make
we
sure
need
to
a
speak
second
into
for
your
the
mic.
next. Oh.
Yes, yes.
So we're doing two separate. We're doing, this one's the PLA 2602.
Mhm.
Yes, they are reliant on each other, but
Yes.
we have to
Yes.
vote on, you have to vote on them separately.
Yes,
Just-
because if we weren't to recommend this to the city council, then we wouldn't have to
Yes, correct.
deliberate over the next.
That is what I thought. I think it sounds like a very reasonable, logical thing to allow.
Yeah, I don't have any questions. Seems like just the right property and the right time for the school district to acquire it.
Yes, it's a very crowded corner back there, I think, and they could use the extra room.
Yes.
Is this where one of us can move, can, or do you have to do something in between?
Well, we should just make sure that no one has any other
Okay.
questions. Do you have any questions of staff or any comments that we want to make before we make a motion?
No questions.
Okay. Well, then I would look for a motion.
I move to approve.
All right. So move.
I'll second that.
All right.
Back up just, so you are moving to recommend the city council
Yes.
to approve. So if you
Yes.
read
Okay.
the one, it's like the first motion on there at the bottom, number 1.
I get confused.
I move to recommend that the city council approve application PLA 26-02, which includes adopting the findings of fact listed in the staff report.
Wonderful. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Yes, I'll second.
All right. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Any opposed? It is approved. So now we will move to the next item on our agenda, application ZMA 26-01. The applicable substantive criteria are listed in the staff report. Testimony, arguments, and evidence must be directed towards the criteria described or other criteria in the plan or land use regulation which the person believes to apply to the decision. Failure to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence sufficient to afford the decision maker and the parties an opportunity to respond to the issue precludes appeal to the Land Use Board of Appeals based on that issue. Do any of our commissioners have personal bias?
No. No.
No.
I have none. What about conflict of interest?
None. No.
None.
I have none. How about ex parte information?
No.
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 I have none. And that will move to the staff report with Angela.
Thank you. The applicant is requesting a zone map amendment affecting approximately 2,687 square feet. The proposal would change the zoning designation for residential high density R3 to public facility PF. This request is being processed concurrently with the property line adjustment. The Planning Commission will hold a public hearing and make recommendation to the City Council, which will then conduct its own hearing and issue the final decision. The subject properties are not located within the special flood hazard area. The statewide wetlands inventory identifies an intermittent perennial drainage to Cotton Creek on the properties. Staff finds that the proposed zone is consistent with the comprehensive plan, land use designation, and applicable policies. The allowed uses under Sweet Home Municipal Code 17.14.020 and 17.24.020 can be supported on the properties without exceeding their capacity. After the property line adjustment, tax lot 09100 will increase to 11.93 acres, approximately 519,744 square feet, and will continue to contain Sweet Home High School, where educational uses are permitted in the PF zone. Tax lot 10100 will be reduced to approximately 13,293 square feet and will retain 3 existing single-family dwellings, which are allowed in the R3 zone. The school district intends to use the adjusted area for future career-focused educational programs or for improvements related to student safety. No new development is proposed with this application. Sweet Home High School on tax lot 09100 is served by city water and sewer from Long Street, 18th Avenue, and the south property boundary. The dwellings on tax lot 10100 are served by city water and sewer from 18th Avenue. Because no development is proposed, staff finds that the existing public facilities, services, and transportation networks are adequate. This amendment would change a 2,687 square foot portion of tax lot 10100 from R3 to PF and is being reviewed alongside the property line adjustment. Since the request involves a change to the public facility zone to residential high density zone, the residential high density zone purpose statement under Sweet Home Municipal Code 17.14010 does not apply. Based on the findings outlined in Section 3 of this report, staff recommend that the Planning Commission make a recommendation to the City Council to approve this application. Because this request is for a zone change, no conditions of approval are proposed. In acting on a zone change application, the Planning Commission will hold a public hearing at which it may either recommend that the City Council approve or deny the application. The recommendation should be based on the applicable review and decision criteria. The City Council will hold a public hearing and decide on this application. Motions after the public hearing and receiving of testimony, the Planning Commission's options include the following. 1, move to recommend that the City Council approve application ZMA 26-01, which includes adopting findings of fact listed in the staff report. 2, move to recommend that the City Council deny application ZMA 26-01, and you must specify your reason. And number 3, move to continue the public hearing to a date and time certain, or 4, other. Do you have any questions of staff?
Is the reason why we're recommending to the city council instead of us just approving, is it because it's a zoning change?
Correct.
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't have any additional questions of staff.
No questions.
No question.
All
No
right.
questions.
All right, well then we'll move on to our applicant's testimony. Again, please come forward and state your name and address for the record.
Thank you. My name is Kevin Strong and my address is 40120 Crawfordsville Drive, Sweet Home. Again, thank you for this opportunity. My understanding is that for the school district to acquire and utilize this property, it needs to have this change. And so with that, thank you. And if you have any questions, let me know.
Do you have any other questions for our applicant?
I do not.
Nope.
Nope.
I have none. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Right now, we'll move to our proponent's testimony. That's testimony from those willing to speak in favor of the application. And we have none. So we'll move to opponent's testimony. So that's testimony from those wishing to speak in opposition of the application. And we have none. So we'll move to neutral testimony from those that are neither in favor or in opposition to the application. And we have none. So with that, I'll close our public hearing at 6:48 and move to discussion amongst our commissioners. Seems pretty straightforward to me. And-
Seems reasonable and logical.
Yep, and falls into our zoning plans for the future. Does anybody have any other questions that have come up for staff?
None.
No,
No.
I'm good.
All right. Well then, we can look for a motion. And I would move to recommend that the city council approve application ZMA 26-01, which includes adopting the findings of fact listed in the staff report.
I second that.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 The motion is approved.
See you at the City Council.
Thank you very much.
So yes, the next stage of this will be the City Council meeting where they will make the final decision. So
All right. Do we have any other staff updates?
I do.
Nicole?
So please put on your calendars. We discussed this at the last meeting and it's on your minutes that there is a Planning Commission and City Council joint work session next Tuesday at 5:30 here in the building. A lot of it's going to go over just land use, which is what you guys do, just council can understand it. And a lot of it's some of the training that you guys have had. But it's good to have the planning commissioners and the city councilors do the training together. So there's, so everybody kind of understands how the process goes. And then after that, there'll be a city council meeting. So the planning commissioners don't have to stay unless you want to. It's the joint session is right before the city council meeting. So,
Okay,
but that is
Okay.
it.
all right. Anything else we need to discuss with staff?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right, then I will adjourn our meeting at 6:51. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for coming.
It's Kevin.
Well, look at that.